Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Just quickly, we see where the Republican laws here in Michigan and in Wisconsin, now they want to change. They want to cut down on some of the things that the governor can do.
The governor, the attorney general, and it's going on in North Carolina too.
Okay.
So, if you take away the ability of the governor to allocate funds to appoint people to certain places, assignments within the government, if you take the ability of the attorney general to prosecute or at least investigate certain activities and put that back into the House, which in both Michigan and in Wisconsin are GOP because of gerrymandering.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, millions more people vote Democratic than Republican in both states.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have what you had. It's a coup d'etat. The Republicans do not respect democracy.
No.
One person, one vote is not their agenda.
No.
They've even said, there's this guy named Paul Weyrich who said back in the Reagan era that one person, at that time it was one man, one vote,
Mm-hmm.
is not their objective.
Mm-hmm.
He said straight out, that's not what we should be seeking.
Right.
We don't want blacks to vote. We don't want brown people
Mm-hmm.
to vote. We don't want women to vote.
No.
And so when they come to you and they say that they're so in love with democracy and they're so patriotic, tell them they're a liar. They're a liar to their face.
Yeah.
And it just gives me more fuel to look at one of them and give it to them when they look at me, because I'm going to stand for the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want to disenfranchise me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take away my right to select who represents me, but yet you extract taxes from me full and completely.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you're going to tell me I can't participate in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way. But that's what's going on. They truly do not believe in democratic principles.
No.
But that's always been the American way.
True.
Me first.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's
Yeah.
all about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It you know, the thing where we look at one man, one vote. I mean, you know, the Republicans have never looked at it that way.
No, it's not in their interest.
No.
They don't have, if it was one person, one vote, Hillary Clinton would be president,
Yeah.
John Kerry would be president, and so would Al Gore.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that.
No.
Their power depends on them bending the rules, breaking the rules,
yeah.
rewriting the
Yeah.
rules. Same thing during Jim Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing after Reconstruction, when you truly had, for a brief period of time, one man, one vote in the South.
Yep.
After Reconstruction, during Reconstruction, you had black governors, you had black senators,
Right.
you had black congresspeople who came from a period of enslavement.
Mm-hmm.
These were people who scarcely had the opportunity to be educated,
Yep.
yet they represented their constituency well. Well, Jim Crow came along and put it into all that.
Oh, yeah.
So every time you see them waving that flag, you know they can't eat a hot dog without singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
They can't wait to tell you how patriotic they are.
Yeah.
But when it comes right down to the fundamentals of being a patriot, it's anathema to them. They
Right.
have no interest in being
No.
a patriot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You were saying, Patrick?
They can't eat a hot dog
Yeah.
without singing
The
anthem.
flag. Yeah.
No.
You know, but
Pseudo patriotism.
I know
Yeah.
it comes down to we're talking about representation.
Mm-hmm.
Democracy, as I understand it, is one man, one vote.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not getting that.
No.
And if I'm not allowed to vote, right, then it's why should I pay? By the way, you forget America, when these folks came out from England, it was no taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
But now you want taxation without representation here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they're so historically ignorant, Paget. If you go back to the modern Tea Party movement, they called themselves patriots in the spirit of the original Tea Party episode that happened prior to the American Revolution in the late 18th century.
Yep.
What that was all about was corporate dominance of local economies. So if you had the British East Indian Tea Company dominating commerce and telling the local businesses, you can't buy tea from him, you can't buy coffee from him, you can't buy pastries from you have to buy from the British East Indian Company and pay taxes on top of that. The people who would soon become Americans, United States of American citizens, rebelled against that. And they went surreptitiously dressed as Native Americans and threw the tea overboard. It was symbolic. Fast forward to what happened under Bush. You had these same idiots calling themselves Tea Party patriots who were endorsing corporate dominance, who said, give me more Walmart, give me more corporate dominance in my life. So, again, if you don't read your history and you let yourself be ignorant, somebody can pour anything down your throat and you swallow it.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately.
You were saying though.
Yeah, to me is like Dennis says, you have to understand and know it's all been a scheme. To me, America was built on a lie, fornication, murder, injustice.
Yeah.
And so when you keep relapsing back into the same old, when you keep relaxing back into the same old thing and you think that this is all that there is, then you get in the rope-a-dope.
Yeah. And right now we have a certain percentage of the people in this country. They don't care what happened, as long as the lie is coming from Trump and his people. They don't want to hear the truth. All they want to hear them lies.
Yeah, even the ones that know that they're lying.
Yeah.
Well, it's been demonstrated many times that Trump voters have been interviewed, asked a question about a particular topic, spit out an answer that they got from Fox News, Sean Hannity, Rushman, one of those fools. And when told that that's factually inaccurate, it's actually this, they still don't care because they want to ride or die with Trump, which represents their innate racist tendencies. That's what really gets him excited about Trump. Trump, you hear him say it many times, he speaks what's on his mind, he says what he thinks, and I agree with him. Well, okay, so by Trump being unable to properly spell words, to use syntax, to speak as if he's an adult. He speaks like he's an 8th grade boy.
Right. Not no history.
No history. Tells me that you appreciate being a dummy, so you want a representative that is a dummy. This morning, Trump went out there and put out a tweet because he's panicking with this Mueller investigation. And he said that this is no smoking gun. He wanted to say smoking. This fool can't spell smoking. He spelled it S-M-O-C-K-I-N-G. And now he's being made fun of. But his followers, they can't spell smoking either. So that's fine. They can relate to that.
His man is the leader of the world, free country, and he can't even spell.
He's illiterate.
And everybody, all these other countries know he's stupid.
Oh, they laugh at him. They laugh. I mean, at the G20 a couple weeks ago, man, he was isolated by himself, sitting alone. They're laughing at him behind his back, ridiculing him. He is an absolute imbecile, and he's a fraud. He is not a businessman. He's a money launderer. The more and more evidence in this Mueller investigation goes on and on, you can see that his economic wherewithal, with all the multiple bankruptcies, the 7 bankruptcies he's had, each one of them was preceded by a deal that he did with the Russians on their behalf. He's been controlled by them for a long time, and it's all coming out now. He's a fraud.
And
perpetrate.
He is not just on eggshells right now. It's something even more delicate than that, because it's being said now that his son-in-law, his senior advisor, Kushner, is advising Trump, but he's in bed with
MBS.
MBS.
Yeah.
Salman.
Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that. This issue, as a matter of fact, he been playing up to him from some
Day
time
one.
now, from the very beginning, because they're trying to get in their good graces. They're trying to get monies for their business.
Yeah.
And of course, Saudi has some. But look, the depth. They have sunken our intelligence agencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they cannot accept it. Because it's pointing to them. And more, we're going to see where Trump is. No, don't say that. He's no good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
he's a fake. He is worse than Barabbas. And God knows, when Mueller report comes out, all those who are gravitating to him now gonna be glad to run away, because the hammer is about to fall.
And it's even worse than that, Patrick, because the U.S. Justice Department, Southern District of New York, has a separate investigation going on, and they're digging deep. And what they've come up with, particularly through Cohen, is enough to send Trump to prison. He is an indicted co-conspirator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They refer to him as the candidate who ran for president and won. We will identify him as individual number one. I wonder who that is. Who's individual number one?
Yeah.
Well, it's Twitler. And in that investigation, they found out that Cohen, through his tax evasion schemes, through his paying off of porn stars to shut Trump up, had Trump complicit. In fact, one of the things they said in the investigation is he did this with the direction and instructions of individual number one. So there's no question that what Mueller did is he divided up the responsibility so that Trump cannot pardon himself. He cannot pardon any of the perpetrators. In the New York case, because it's not the federal one.
Right.
So he's done. And he's feeling it, man.
And besides, his children were also implicated in Cohen. And all this, I never had anything to do with Russia. Oh no? Well, what happened to this? What happened to that? What happened to that?
This morning, the Washington Post published a photograph. 14 different Trump administration people, all his children. What Usay Kusay, and what's his daughter's name? Melda, Ivanka, or whatever. All of them in contact with the Russians for the last 2.5 years. So there's no question that's what they're all about. They're money launderers. That's what the family business is.
There's an old saying, what's done in the dark will come out in the light. And it's coming out. Don't forget Trump. Well, if he touches my business, that's a red line. You can't. But then all his taxes that he was afraid to show, they're gonna get into it now. And come January, the Democrats gonna be controlling the House. And it's gonna be. They're going about it sensibly. They're not just rushing into that and forget everything else. They're going to be investigating properly, get the documents to support everything, and more you're gonna learn, because all they're gonna be sentencing him any moment now. He was National Security Advisor.
Oh, Mike Flynn?
Flynn. Flynn spoke a whole lot.
19 times.
Okay? He told them a lot. And don't forget, all during the campaign, who was right next to Trump all along with everything? Flynn.
And they got notes.
Oh, yeah.
Not only do they have notes, they have videos and recordings. Oh, he's done. They've got Pecker, who ran the National Enquirer, was one of his hush guys. They've got all the videos and audios that Cohen had. See, what Cohen made the mistake of was, ironically, He fully cooperated in terms of Trump. He sung like Aretha when it came to Trump and the Russians. What he held back for is his little medallion hustle, his little tax evasion schemes, the stuff that he was culpable of.
Right.
And when you have these agreements, you're required to fully disclose all of your criminal activity. If you stole a candy bar when you were 9, you're supposed to tell them about that. You didn't do it.
Yeah.
So now they're talking about
What else you withholding?
no, they know. They've been able to corroborate so much stuff. They said, man, you're lying. You didn't.
But they giving them a chance.
You sung on Trump. We appreciate that, player, but you didn't tell us about this and that.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't tell us about the tax evasion. You didn't fully disclose all the benefits that you got from paying off Stormy Daniels and the other young lady.
Yeah. Under the table
he
money.
held back. He held back. So they have recommended to the judge that he be given a minor break just south of the sentencing guidelines. The sentencing guidelines are 51 to 63 months, something like that. So we're talking about 5 to 6 years. He's going to do a little bit less than that, but his butt is going to prison. And he's doing this because he didn't want to disclose his own criminality, and he could have got away. But my bigger point is, everything that he has on Trump, because he recorded everything. He has audio and video and all the documents. Oh, he gave that up. So they still get to use that, and he still goes to prison. And I'm sitting there reading this going, love it. Go to jail.
Hey, it would be nice for him and Trump in cells across from each other.
Right.
So they must face it.
And they were saying the other day, man, some guy was saying last night or night before last, anyway, he just mentioned two of the things. This was, I think he was a DA in southern part of New York. I'm thinking he was. Anyway, he was saying that just two of those things that Trump did was enough to get him
impeached.
Yeah, impeached.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
But they refused to call it treason.
Yeah. You know, the thing
Not
is,
yet, but we, again, going to the Mueller side of this investigation, the Southern District is bad for Trump. The Mueller investigation looks real bad too, but what they came out with last Friday was so heavily redacted, we don't know precisely. But just reading the beginning and the ends of those sentences that were redacted, you could pretty much say Trump needs to start getting his affairs in order. Yeah. He's going to prison. And there's talk about, can he pardon himself? Can he pardon these people? Well, yeah, but they can't pardon him out of the Southern District.
Right.
And more importantly, the idea that this man is going to go unscathed, which I've had many people come up to me and say, oh, he's getting away with it. He'll never go to jail. He's going to be president. He's going to run in 20. No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Because all this time, he's been, can I say, defecating on the military, on intelligence services, on the judicial system. He's so arrogant.
Right.
And they can't wait to get a piece of it.
Right.
They cannot wait to get a piece of it.
Is this a gray area that America has never been in?
Yeah, this is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know.
This makes Nixon. Nixon was about to be impeached, and he resigned. And primarily it's because of obstruction of justice. They had a little scheme. They got caught. Rather than own up to it, they tried to cover it up, and Nixon directed it, and that was obstruction of justice.
Right.
That was what the charge is going to be with Watergate.
Yeah, but
this is way beyond.
that. This is a whole every
Penelope.
Yeah,
of
This
crazy.
is testing the system.
Yeah. You know, this is like a man come in here with no intention of doing right.
No.
You know?
He intended to.
Do
The
what he's
Monuments Clause of the Constitution says that the president cannot make money off his position.
Right.
In other words, your income is limited to your salary.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you have business interests, you're supposed to put that in a blind trust. La-da-da-da-da. Bush did it. There's been plenty of wealthy presidents who've done it. Oh, no, not Trump. Trump's been monetizing it since he got there. He's got these people from Japan and China
Staying
and
in
Middle East
hotels.
staying in his hotels, and his daughter's over there in China getting licenses.
Tax money.
Man. And it's a blatant theft of the taxpayers' coffers.
Right.
Yeah.
And disregard for the system.
Absolutely. So the Monuments Clause of the Constitution, they're like,
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. I've had a few conversations with some right wingers whenever they deign to talk to me, because most of the time they come eat that Fox News childish crap, and I'm blown away. But they always say that, you know, he's a businessman. He's supposed to stop doing business. I say, well, the Monuments Clause of the Constitution, what's that? Was that some kind of lotion?
Yeah.
Is that what you rub
that
on
a
your
dance?
head?
Is
You
that a
wash it?
dance?
You don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he is constitutionally in violation.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get more fundamental than that.
Right.
The Constitution saw the danger of having a president who was beholden to adversaries or East foreigners because he had economic interests. So they nipped that right in the bud. You
Right.
can't do that.
And
he just flaunts it. He doesn't even
Yeah.
try to hide it.
Yeah.
Dennis, the big thing is Congress is supposed to have oversight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yet nothing is being done about
So you're
this
wrong about that.
because
They are doing something about that.
there will be.
No, they are. Where do you think the special counsel comes from?
Yeah.
I mean,
They give him a rope to hang himself.
well, maybe so.
It takes
But-
time, Patrick.
but,
He's being.
all this that this man is doing. I'm not hearing the Senate saying anything.
They don't
The
have to.
House was saying nothing.
They don't have to.
Nothing was going on.
Well, what they did a faux investigation in the House under the fool out of California, starts with, Nunez. Yeah. And they've had these faux hearings to try to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. But the problem with that is, it was the United States Congress which authorized a special counsel. And once the special counsel's out there, all their little efforts to cover this up and hide it are not going to be successful. And you can see, Paget, I think if somebody asks you, what do you attribute this blue tsunami that we just witnessed in November, what would you attribute it to? And there's a lot of reasons you can, but I would submit that the primary reason is American citizens by the millions are sick of Trump's criminality.
Yeah.
I don't see
You know
any
what?
other
That's
motivating
right.
factor
Yeah. Yeah.
that's greater than that.
He's trumping himself.
So he's not getting away with the thing,
yeah.
man.
And I think now, you know, in the last month, more and more people are beginning to look at this thing now. You know,
Separate themselves.
yeah. It's like, wait a minute, this man is doing all these things, and like you said, he just, you know, he just keep on, you know, it's like whatever he was doing before he started running for president, he feel like he can just come in and be president and then still.
Right, but he's only making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the more, it's like quicksand. The more he moved, the deeper he gets.
Yeah. And you know,
They can't shut his mouth.
right.
Nice one. Nice one.
yeah.
Plus, Chuck, it's his business model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a money launderer.
Yeah.
And he gets to be president. Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got access to a whole lot of
Yeah.
things that he
Yeah.
can money.
And,
that he can money
you
launder.
know, as bad as I hate him being president, but if he hadn't been president, he would have kept those things that he was doing. So, in one sense, it's great for
Nobody
him.
would have been any the wiser.
Right, you know. But now,
I think he's
all of these people going to jail, he's going to be, you know, something's got to happen to him. You know.
He might want to run to Russia.
Yeah. You know, you might look at one morning.
Yeah, his new citizenship.
Now they should be crying, lock him up.
Yeah, you
Remember
know.
the big chat?
Yeah.
Speaking of, the very exact same thing that the GOP at their convention moving forward with this lock her up madness is the very same thing that Ivanka Trump did. Literally.
Yep.
Exactly.
Doing government business on a personal email server, and she did it for business purposes. Hillary's was talking about cookie recipes and birthday parties and you know the innate stuff. She wasn't supposed to do that on a personal server, but Ivanka's on there trying to steal. And I haven't heard lock her up one time.
No.
Oh no!
But that hooker needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, she was new. She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So they should have. They didn't tell her. So it's okay. She did, and I saw her myself on TV. Well, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Bungle and Natty
Yeah.
is the same thing and worse.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
you had her example.
Mhm.
You were there with your father
Yeah.
with all the cry for
Yeah.
lock her
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And now you're doing the same
Yeah.
thing?
Or worse.
Yeah. You know.
Did y'all see? I don't watch Saturday Night Live because I think it's kind of corny, but I like some of their
How
segments.
much time we got, man? Patrick?
Did you see when they did they said they had a sketch called "Them Trumps," and it was showing what would happen if Trump was black. So,
Was Chappelle in it? Was Chappelle in it?
No. But they had, I forget the
man.
brother's name, kind of chubby dude, looks like he's always ready to smile.
Yeah.
And he played, I think his name was like Darnell Trump. And, and they were showing, you know, he was saying the same thing that Trump said, only using Ebonics. FBI comes up and arrests him. Then he comes back and he says, well, I got out because they can't, sitting president can't be indicted. So and then they come up, they impeach him. I mean, boom, boom, boom. It shows a double standard. It cracked me up.
Yeah.
Oh, it cracked me
But
up.
it's true for that.
Absolutely
Yeah.
true. It's a
They
point
had
well
to do
made.
it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but there is.
Yeah.
So we see the things tightening up, and every day, he's mad. It's like,
So,
and the thing,
No collusion, no collusion.
yeah, and the thing that that makes me, makes me angry when I hear that. Who cares about him being mad?
right.
You know, who
Right.
cares about him out here being
Listen,
angry and everything?
Yeah.
We ought to care because if he is the president and he is mad, and I'm not talking of just being angry because of what you said, I'm talking mad, crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Then we got to be
but
concerned.
But my thing is, if corporate America is like Donald Trump, that scares me to death.
Whoop,
Being a black man,
whoop.
and is that the problem with America? Being a bully and being dominant, no mercy.
Corporate America is a little more sophisticated than him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
But they're shady.
They're shady and slick. He's just a lowbrow criminal.
Right, yeah.
He's a very simple man.
Yeah,
he's a money launderer,
Yeah.
and he put himself in a position to be able to get the Russians to see that they could utilize him, and they've been developing him ever since.
Yeah.
You know, one other thing that I think is really fun to watch is the difficult time he's having to find a chief of staff. He had a 36-year-old man who's got his whole future ahead. Nothing would look better on his resume than White House chief of staff. And my man was like, nah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Right.
I got,
Yeah.
but I think I'll
Yeah.
be a Boy Scout troop leader.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they cannot feel. He has low morale. He's got position after position that isn't filled because people don't want. Not only do they not want to be besmirched, they don't want that on their
The stain,
resume.
yeah.
And of course, you know, by guilt by association is a real thing. They don't want to be involved with
Right.
it. So he probably will spend the next 3, 4, 5 days, if not longer, begging somebody to be his chief of staff.
In this
Yeah.
last minute, you got a mad. North Carolina.
Oh, right. We forgot about that.
You see what's going on down there? 9-0. They voted not to conform. I don't think that's the word I want to use. The election in this particular
Yeah.
case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
To validate it.
validate.
Yep.
That's the word I want. Because so much corruption. And the Republican hired this known criminal to be in charge of the ballots that are done at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some ballots are coming in. Some the people didn't sign them themselves.
Yeah. Right.
These people signed them
Yeah.
over.
Absentee ballot.
And all kind of things, man. And people are giving in affidavit after affidavit. So somebody's goose gonna be cooked. The question now is, are we gonna have a rerun
Yeah.
or
Let it ride.
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you're too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power. And I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.